doctor.
Saskia Falken has beaten her addiction to smoking, which doesn't put her completely out of harm's way, but definitely reduces her risk of developing cancer. Saskia, as you look at Estelle's story, what are you thinking?
I'm very sad. It's because it's so preventable, you know, and like she's saying that you don't have to, you can make the choice not to. I think Estelle probably grew up in a time where attitudes towards smoking was completely different. So that is very sad because it is completely preventable. Yeah.
Sure. So CEO Magazine describes Saskia as one of the most influential women in business and government in the Western Cape. Take a look.
Motherhood seems to have inspired good changes in Saskia Falken's life. The television and radio personality is also an entrepreneur who realizes that the best investment she can make is in her health. Using her platform to motivate others, she's a proud ambassador for the Heart and Stroke Foundation.
So Saskia, back to your smoking. When and how did you start?
I probably started like any other teenager did, you know. When you're a teenager, you're curious, you want to be cool, and smoking is one of those things that for some reason you just think it's cool. Yeah. So it was...
Which it is for a while, but then you had to stop, but you didn't stop.
No. And with all my girlfriends, we all kind of learned it together. Some of us picked up the habit and others didn't. And I continued to smoke for about 15 years.
Wow. And your parents? I mean, what role did they play? Were they non-smokers?
Non-smokers,
really?
But my grandmother was a smoker, and she was a smoker until the day she died. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, so why did you want to stop?
You know, I think because I really wanted to have children. That was something that I'd always known in my life. I therefore knew that my smoking days were numbered.
And the big question is, so how did you stop?
Yeah.
I mean, did you use smoking aids? I mean, what, you know, did you read something?
You know, people always speak about willpower, and I was very worried because I'm not the kind of person that can get up early in the morning and go running and do all of those wonderful things, you know, so I was really worried about that. But for me, I think your mind is the most powerful thing, and it can either be your ally or it can be your enemy, and I figured if I was going to beat this, the best thing would be to have my mind on my side. Wow. So I started just by reprogramming my mind, not giving up smoking, just kind of looking at the things that I didn't want for myself. And it was even very superficial things like smoking ages you very badly. So looking at pictures of women who used to be beautiful and are now battling with dry skin and wrinkles and that kind of thing. And it just wasn't something I wanted for myself. And then when I felt that I was ready and I had kind of the motivations in place, which was wanting to have a child, it came easier. But it's still not as easy. I mean, it's very difficult. So there was no smoking aids involved.
Nothing at all?
No.
Have you tried to quit before?
That time I quit. I quit for about 6 months, and then I picked up the habit again, and then I think about 7 months later I quit again, and I've been smoke-free for 5 years now.
Which is fantastic.
But you know what helped a lot?
And by the way, your daughter is now 3 years old.
She's
so
3,
you did have a daughter, you did have a child, wonderful. And you being the role model to your daughter now.
Yes, and that's so very important, you know, because especially with little girls, they look at their moms and they're copying everything. You know what kids are like. You've got 3. So you know that they're copying everything that their parents do. So it's even more important that the kind of lifestyle that you're leading, it's not a matter of do as I say and not as I do. You know, you kind of have to do as you do. Exactly. That's it.
What about weight gain?
Weight.
Sorry to ask. I mean, just come right out there. What about weight gain?
Are you saying something, Michael? No. You know, inevitably, it's something that you have to embrace. I'd like to say that I stepped up on the gym and I did all these wonderful things. No, I went from a size 32 to a size 36. I'm very happy with my shape. I love the fact that I'm more voluptuous and I'm more curvy. It was an excuse to change my wardrobe and go shopping all over again, so that was great. And I don't want to be back to a size 32. The wonderful thing about smoking is once you quit, your smell starts rejuvenating, your taste buds start rejuvenating, so you re-experience food. And it was a wonderful journey. And I think if you're going to give up, you have to learn to embrace some of those things, some of those inevitable changes that's going to happen, and see it as a good thing and not a bad thing.
I think you're a wonderful, voluptuous 36.
Thank you.
And I'd rather have you as a 36 living an extra 10 years than a 32, you know, dying young.
Absolutely.
Which is great. Saskia, thank you. Thanks for sharing so honestly. Smoking is one of the leading causes of statistics, the most notable of which is that sooner or later, everyone stops smoking.
I wanna live the best life.